G'day everybody, it's True Voice Today podcast. It's Wayne Forrest speaking with the lovely coach Susan Cook is in the house.
Coach Susan's in the house. Hello everybody, I love you all and we are just so excited to have the most amazing person here with us. Go on Wayne, introduce her.
This is a lovely friend of mine, and I've taken the lovely Rachel Kyle through a dream building, 12-week dream building program, and she is a local businesswoman. She's a physio by trade, so her business is physio, and she is a woman that is on the move in Central Hawke's Bay because she just loves community, and I've noticed since I've known Rachel, she has just gone from strength to strength, and the physio in Central Hawke's Bay is number one. It's just got so much better, and it's because of Rachel and what she does. And I know that she does a lot of work with local rugby teams and netball teams, sports people in the area, does a lot of sponsorship, and really supports the community. And she is becoming one of the pillars or new pillars of Central Hawke's Bay. So, Rachel, with that all said, you gorgeous person, you. I've got some questions for you. So, when, obviously when you started the Dream Builder, you were already reasonably successful in your business and but you were struggling with a few things when we first talked. Can you kind of give us a little bit of a background on where you were at that time before the Dream Builder?
Sure. Well, thanks so much, Wayne, for having me on. It's a real privilege to be involved in something that you are doing. You've been an amazing influence in a lot of people's lives, so we are all really grateful for that. And I think primarily my biggest sort of place I was at when I talked to you first about the dream building was really trying to find time to spend with the kids, which I sort of felt like I was letting them down, and I couldn't figure out a way how to make them happy and my staff happy and just trying to make everything work well. I found that the business was pretty much just taking over a lot of my time and energy, where I really felt like I should have been spending it more with the kids and Cameron, my husband. So that's where you sort of came in and showed me that we could have it all and be really happy about it. So yeah, that's where I was when we first started this little journey.
So Rachel, what was some of those things that you took on board that made a difference?
I think gosh, I don't know how to put it into words really. It was so many things, but I think hope was probably one of the biggest ones. The fact that you allowed us to think outside the box, all these little barriers that we put on ourselves or that we'd been raised with, you sort of blew them out of the water and you just said, let's, have a little fun and, tell me what it is you want. And I'd never spent any time really thinking about what I wanted. I thought I knew what I wanted, but I hadn't really spent much energy on it. I was too busy, worrying about the bank balance and my staff, making sure they were paid and at the same time, trying to feed the kids and my husband and walk the dog and
So you're saying that you didn't really have a lot of self-time, me time?
No, none. And you brought the fun back in that.
Awesome. Now, I've just thought of something when you were talking, and I'm reflecting also on our partnership and relationship over that time. And I can remember a certain conversation about spirituality and higher powers. Can you fill in our audience on that discussion, or do I need to just keep prompting you a little bit
You
more?
might need to jog my memory a little bit.
What I can remember, and I just like to point this out, and I've actually heard someone else
I do.
do it.
Yeah.
And I got a photo. Can you share to
Oh, yes.
can you give our lovely listeners that story from your point of view, please? That would be lovely.
What can you remember? Can you just jog my memory? What was the task you set us or set me at the time?
If I remember rightly, there was a disbelief in a higher power, right? A disbelief that we're connected to something. And I asked you to ask the question.
Yeah.
I asked you to say, if there's a higher power, please show me a sign.
That's right. Yeah. And when it wasn't sort of a disbelief, it was more of a I think I couldn't kind of figure out where it all fit in my life. And and I was driving somewhere, I think to book club, and the sun was setting, and it was a beautiful night, and I pulled over and took a photo and texted it to you, because it was just, I thought that to me is what that higher power was, and it was a beautiful photo of our our gorgeous landscape with the sun coming down. Ooh.
Hey, Rachel, it's so lovely to be able to speak to you and to listen to that wonderful, wonderful description of the power of energy. Because, of course, a sunset is energy. And when you actually start to get that understanding that you are part of universe and universe is energy, we often find with our clients that even if they hadn't been able to relate to the old-fashioned Mr. God-man who's sitting on a cloud, who's a nice guy, they suddenly start to understand in metaphysics that we are talking about the power of the universe and the power of energy and the power of connectiveness of us being part of this unit of energy.
Yeah.
And when our clients do what you do and say, this is the sunset and this is God, this is what I understand, it's a very empowering process for our clients and for us, because it's a revelation.
And it was amazing to be able to have that opportunity to open my mind to it, and before it was closed, because it was different traditions, and so I was really grateful for that. Amazing.
And Rachel, it would be fair to say that the mind was pretty occupied by
that would be an understatement.
So what was that turning point in the course that you felt was the turning point, that all of a sudden things started to click and you realized that you had the power to create the time that you wanted?
I think some of those examples in the course were probably the biggest turning point, seeing how easy it was for you to think something or hope for something, and then really opening up your mind to it, and then things just happened. You were just more open to allowing those things to happen. So I guess it is that real energy where we're allowing everyone else's energy, or the earth's energy, or the universe energy, to come to you and help you achieve whatever you want to achieve. That, yeah. And
it gives you a empowering moment, doesn't it, Rachel? Rachel, what attracted you to Wayne as your coach? Because we again understand you're talking about the energy, and that energy is the pull of force of you actually recognizing the person you actually want to work with. How did you come to that understanding that you really wanted to work with Wayne? Hey, Wayne, I'm promoting you, baby. Love you.
So many attributes. I don't know where to start. Kindness, fun, intelligence, just getting, I think letting me see the good in me was probably the he really teased it out of me. It took him a wee while, but he helped me feel really good about me and what I could do and had done and wanted to do. So, yeah.
So it's basically when you start to realize through Wayne's coaching that you are a unique person and you are highly important. And yes, you're a mother and a businesswoman, but basically when you start to know that power of energy that's within you is highly important, you can reflect off your learning experience with your coach. And very clearly, this is what happened with you. What I'm intrigued to know about is, do you actually use the principles of the Dream Builder to actually reflect back to the people that you work with, like these rugby players and people in that sort of sense, since you've actually become a dream builder? Because our clients are dream builders once they've certified, as far as we're concerned, and they live the dream builder way because it changes your thinking.
Yes.
How do you do that with
absolutely
your clients?
Every day I do it, and I probably don't put it in a little box or anything. It just so everything that Wayne taught me, it just oozes out into my patients and my staff and my family, and you can't help but have part of that dream building course every day guide you as to what decisions to make or not make, and just empower other people to see their potential in such small ways that make a big difference.
So in saying that, Rachel, you would have seen some big impacts on possibly family and stuff as well. Has it really impacted the girls in Cameron?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. I think our communication is so much better, and they know that that I love them, and that the business doesn't come first now, and that has had a huge impact on their behaviour and our relationship. So it's been amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And the staff as well.
Definitely, yeah.
So Rachel, I've been a working mother all my life, and I can absolutely empathize with you as a woman and a businesswoman. And I wish when I was younger, when my children were growing up, I had actually understood the principle of Dream Builder and how you have the ability to categorize things and use them in a certain way. And I love that you have now actually realigned yourself and realized the importance of certain things in your life. Can you explain a working girl's day using this kind of principle and how you wake up in the morning and start your day, knowing that you have a different way of actually dealing with things.
Yeah, well, I'm so much happier, and that just comes through in all different aspects, of my day, and I start, and I'm happy when I wake up, and then I just take a little bit more time to reflect on the things that I'm really grateful for, and it's just become second nature now, and yeah, just I'm a lot more calmer. It's just mind-boggling how I got through the day before the dream building course. Really, I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I think there was a lot of wine involved.
Well, that's okay. It's good for you. Jesus drank wine.
I don't really drink as much anymore.
He drank wine. It's good. It's all good.
And and so just I think being grateful for at the start of the day has helped me get through the day, and sure, things pop up that worry me, but or I find objectionable, but I can just take them in my stride more. So getting out the door is certainly not as big a deal as it was before the Dream Builder course, and so I'm not sure. Yeah, it's just everything's a lot calmer in my home. That's for sure.
And Rachel, how's one of the things that we really worked on too was that self-belief. There was a lot of doubt, and there was a lot of doubt language at the beginning of the course, and I still work with you. For all the listeners, Rachel's my physio as well, and has been for crikey, 5 years or so, maybe now.
Yeah,
is
I
it?
think that then, yeah.
Just as a guess or round figure. And so I saw Rachel on Wednesday, and I have seen a change. We don't get a lot of time to have a natter because she's beating me up in the pool, but I have seen a huge change in the language. Would that be fair?
Yeah, and something I hadn't even noticed. It's just come naturally, and I think with your help, we've been able to say whatever we say as usual, but then add on up until now, and that's a great little tool to use, so we don't beat ourselves up again, which we usually had done in the past.
Rachel, when you speak about this, it's much fun once you've actually gone through this whole course, and then you actually, by the sounds of it, are working with Wayne. Do you ever coach him? Do you ever remind him what he has to do up until now?
Once, I think I have. He usually catches himself before I do it, but I have chucked that in there once or twice.
Yeah, I think I might be able to remember one incident anyway, where she caught me out big time, and I was like, all I said was, "Thank you, Rachel. Thank you. That's awesome."
Well, then it goes to show you did your job really well, Wayne. You're an excellent coach. That's a good sign of a good coach when your clients start saying, "Hey, up until now, Wayne, up until now." Rachel, another thing I wanted to ask you, when you first started with your first strategy session with Wayne to see if you were a good fit, and everybody out there, I'd love you to know this. We do a strategy session and we actually find out if we're a good fit with our client. It's not often that we aren't, but when we feel that we are not a good fit, we are very open and honest to that person, and likely will actually pass them on or send them on, refer them on to another fellow coach that we feel that is a good fit. But when you are a good fit and you create that first vision blueprint, when you created that with Wayne, did you create it and live through it the magic of creating that when you first find out, wow, I can do this.
Oh, yes.
I'm magic. I can do it. But in the course of that, living in that blueprint, how successful have you been in all 4 areas of that blueprinting that you did with Wayne? How many things have come to fruition? And explain to the people out there how exciting it is to actually have your blueprint that you live by.
Yeah, it is so exciting, and honestly, you just think it seems like such a flippant and extravagant exercise to start with, but it's just so necessary to break down those barriers so that you can again, think about what you want, which is a great start, and it's just so exciting thinking that this is actually a possibility. And initially, you have to dig deep and think outside the box, and not worry about all those barriers that you've learned over the years or been taught that that this is not, you can't do this. And I've achieved so many of my goals on that blueprint. I'm still working towards a couple of big ones, but they are happening as we speak, and I've added several more in there, which is just natural as you progress. Your needs and wants change and maybe become a little bit more meaningful, or so yeah, it's amazing. I can't really put it to words how it feels.
Yeah. So it's just so exciting that when I first created my blueprint some time ago, and I thought, well, okay, I'll do what they tell me to do, but hey ho, let's see what happens. And then when you start learning exactly how to do it, it's so simple, and it gets to the stage where you say to yourself, can this really actually be so easy? And why didn't I know from when I was a little kid how to do this? Why did the grown-ups tell me I couldn't do things?
Absolutely.
It's really interesting. Yeah. Do you practice it with your children?
I have started to, yes, and it's amazing how in the past they would ask for things, and I would just automatically tell them, what I thought the reality was at that particular time, and so now they're thinking outside the box, and they're coming up with ways to achieve those things that they want, and it is amazing. Yeah.
It's so exciting, isn't it? I've worked with children for 40-odd years, and I've worked in different ways of actually building up children's courage. This Dream Builder program, even with children, is just so exciting. And it's exciting to be able to say to even a child who's been at school and called a non-achiever, you can actually back them up, and you see how they blossom and they open up like this amazing flowering lotus, and they can say, I'm brave, I'm strong, and I can do anything. My little, when he was 5 at the time, grandson came, and he said to me, Nana, you said I can be anything. So I said, you can. I said, you can be anything if you truly believe it, but you've got to really work on it. It's not just, it's going to happen. That doesn't happen. You've got to work hard on a blueprint, just like anything. And he said to me, well, then that's the good deal then, Nana, because by the time I'm grown up enough, I'm going to be a millionaire. So I said, well, if you think it from this age and you dream it, we'll make sure that you get there, my boy. He thought it was a really good idea.
Amazing, yeah. And they should put it in the curriculum of the schools.
I agree. I absolutely agree with you. So excited to have you. Yeah.
So Susan, just before we go, because I'd love to touch on, Rachel does a lot of good work in the community, and Rachel, can you just share the charity that is close to your heart because part of dream building, and I know you had this charity before you did the dream building, but we always give. And yeah, so can you just share on that?
Yes, certainly. So part of my interest is in the Pink and Steel Cancer Rehab Foundation. So we raise money to give to the Pink and Cancer Trust, along with the Breast Cancer Foundation. So it just allows people with cancer, all different types of cancer, access to physiotherapy as a treatment, and it's just a fabulous way to give them something else in their treatment regime other than tests and results and needles and chemo and radiation. So it's just a fabulous way to help them, get the confidence to exercise again. Which in turn helps their treatment be a little bit more effective, is what the research is showing. So it's amazing. Yeah.
Rachel, thank you so much for that. That's a wonderful cause. Could you let everybody out there know what the name of your business is and what your website is?
Yes, it's Plus Rehab CHB. So we're in the process of updating our website. We've just had we've just gone through some organisational changes. So we're just getting the rights back to that, and we'll be all go. But we are on Facebook.
Rachel,
what's the name of the?
Sorry, Susan. If you send me those links, I'll try to make sure that we get them on the bottom of this recording. And we'll tag you into it, and thank you very, very much for doing this today. I know that you had a date with the kids watching the movie tonight and the lovely husband, Cameron. Yes. So thank you for taking this time out and honouring us with your presence.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Thank you. We're really grateful to have you here with us, and that you're doing so wonderfully well with everything in your life.
Yes, well, thanks to you guys. So keep it up and get that word out.
Awesome. So that's Wayne Forrest, and
I'm Coach Susan, and Susan K. Cook, and our lovely guest, Rachel.
Kyle.
See you guys.
That's True Voice today. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Love you lots. Speak to you next time.